championship bracket here for CWL Sydney Open 1 presented by PS4. Both of these teams have a great claim to get not only the top 2, but that #1 spot in the pool, giving them the best seeding. Who are you guys at home cheering for? And here in the crowd, is it Tainted Minds or Prodigy? Let us know. I'm going for both here. I'm going to be stacking it. I reckon both these guys are probably going to be coming out of this group. They're looking like the strongest contenders. And I think that we're going to be seeing a really, really stacked winners bracket here for CWL Sydney Open 1.
Head-to-head matchup, though, coming into this one. We discussed it a little bit before we went live. Vilesider, the new addition to the team. Squism, he just turned 18. This is his first event under CWL. He's on the main stage for the first time in a long time. I remember all the way back in like 2014, I had the pleasure of casting him in New Zealand. And that's when he was a kid. And even watching him when he was young, it was like, wow, this kid, he's going to go places eventually. He's now got to that, that age where he can compete at the top level. Was Tainted Minds, was Mindfreak, was Chiefs. He is just about to make a statement, in my opinion, coming into this map 1.
Yeah, I mean, he spent the last 2 years just following everyone on Twitter, just waiting and waiting for his opportunity to shine. I think that's going to really come out today.
Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Tainted Minds came into this event as the #1 seed for the CWL Pro Points in the entire Asia-Pacific region. Prodigy not too far behind because of all that raw talent and the points they've racked up playing those Game Battles 2Ks and the ladder online. And don't forget, those of you playing at home, you can check those out yourself. Just Google Game Battles and check it out. Sign up and get your team sorted. You may be coming and playing against these guys at CWL Sydney Open 2, presented by PS4, coming up in just a couple of months' time. But look, Curry, we're getting ready. We're going to be jumping into this retaliation game very, very shortly. Look, give me one player. We talked about a head-to-head just then.
Yep.
Who's the game changer here for Prodigy?
Prodigy, Hopi. I think it's got to be Hopi and Squism. It's a bit of a toss-up between the two, who's going to actually be the standout. If we did have to pick one, though, from Tainted Minds, just from his performance yesterday, undoubtedly it's Nimble.
Yeah, I'm going to be pretty annoyed if Nimble doesn't show up hard here. He's probably going to be the lead sort of aggressive subby/K-bar role coming out of the squad. I think he's going to hopefully just destroy Squism if they want any chance of winning this. If he doesn't do that, it's going to be a little bit difficult, I think.
When Nimble gets rolling, he never stops. We saw him in the Unveil Nova series where in that Search and Destroy, it was like he didn't have teammates. He was just picking up some ridiculous plays. Got like back-to-back aces, I think 3 in total out of 1 in 5. Hasn't started off the strongest, but you do see Hope. He's waiting for support for his team, but catches him with his pants down and locks it down for Prodigy Esports. What a fantastic start by these guys. They're up by over 25 points, and they're winning those key engagements. Gydra is 7-4 off the bat. Fantastic performance, and what a way for Prodigy Esports to start this map.
Yeah, it's honestly pretty impressive. They managed to flip those spawns out nice and early. Hope he won a really big gunfight against Damage there. Could have got him with his pants down, as you said. But it looks like, no, it looks like Prodigy's going to retain control of this hardpoint, and it's going to go up by 80 points.
Look how far out Tainted Mind spawned on that one, and Gydra play for the past like 25 seconds, and that is starting to really affect that scoreline. Nearly 100 points already for Prodigy Esports, but here is that big hill down in Broken Dens. He's already set up shop. Yeah, we saw Tainted sort of just concede that they've lost that hill, and they pushed out really nicely across the middle map. It's going to be a little bit difficult for Prodigy to break this if they don't group up. I mean, they have sort of a really spread defense from Tainted, but it's not going to happen. Wow. Look at it, KillerPie. We actually had a bit of discussion beforehand. It's going to be interesting to see players go for that sneaky route. And KillerPie managed to duck and weave his way into a great position. But just doing that so he's created so much attention towards the back, it still has allowed Prodigy Esports to get in there. Hopey about to get into a minute worth of hill time, winning a lot of engagements. Now, Hopey, you've played with him for a very long time. What's his mindset in terms of preparation coming to such a big series?
Basically, Hopey, he likes to bounce off the walls in the hotel room before we get out here. He's loud, he's yelling. He'll usually just like jump on your bed and just shake you till you wake up. So it's going to be hyped, and he is hyped right now.
He's a bit of a kid still, isn't he?
He's a child.
He's a child at heart. Gunfight's going down. Gydra does take out Damage, as it will be the hallway hardpoint. Right now, both teams just want to get control, as it will be, once again, Hopey in the middle of the action. But can he win the gunfight? He somehow outguns Zeus, finds a second player, tags him up super heavily, should be able to win this one, but Dens doesn't stop pre-firing that corner. Works out well, and Tainted Minds, they're in an awkward position now. This is their worst map, but they're down by a very significant margin. I'm
honestly surprised that this is their worst map. They're a very AR-heavy team, and I mean, this is all pretty much long-range engagements, minus this hole in middle.
Schism, again, comes from behind. That seems like Prodigy Esports are doing. They're getting these weird angles and catching Tainted Minds just in positions that they don't expect them. Nimble has been playing fantastically in this first rotation. He's already got 18 kills under his belt. I don't want to bring up a sore spot, but half of the double D combo Damage only just got his 5th kill.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet. Looks like it's another case of Buzzin sitting behind his squad in MF and just sort of being the bin that everyone just sort of dumps their stuff in. But looking at our key player matchup as well, Schism isn't really doing
Someone clip shot that, please. Someone clip shot that, please. I want to see it on Twitter. Dens pushing up the street, spots one play, give the call out to his team. But still, Hopey, 1 minute and 22 seconds in the hill already. He's winning most of his gunfights, not that one though. Schism last one alive, and that is a great push by Tainted Minds. I wish I'd seen more of that throughout them in the first rotation. But it seems like now they're starting to get a bit of life behind them. So far, they're very close to getting to that 100-point mark. Will they be able to do it though? Here comes Prodigy.
Well, if they're going to do it, it's going to happen right now. They've got the spawns pretty set up nicely for new. They're still contesting old. So in saying that, Prodigy just walks in and gets a 3-piece. What are they doing? They're meant to have some of the best slayers in the country.
It is such a Slayer-heavy team. Schism is so loud on the mace. I'm not sure if you guys can hear him, but we certainly can. Him and Hopey, we're just going to hear screaming throughout the rest of this series. I'm willing to call it. Lower Street is going to be where the action is all at, and Damage, since we last brought it up, has only got 1 kill. Make it 2. He needs to heat up, and that's a great 2-piece to do so. But into the second rotation, we start to see those payloads come into effect, and Nimble has been slaying heavy and has earned himself that active camo.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to use it quite in this on this hard point here. He probably will save it and use it to break Grave. I mean, looks like Prodigy's still in control of those close market spawns, and Tainted are spawning out. And again, we see another 3 down, with Tainted being spawned out with 25 seconds left. It looks like we might see a little bit of a rotation coming up across the top of your map with Dens. I'm not sure if that's going to happen just yet.
What do you feel is going wrong for the guys at Tainted Minds right now? Like, it's obviously hard to go against Hopey when he's on a 7-kill streak, but why is it that Prodigy Esports have this lead so far?
Well, watching a few of those kills, you did talk about players being caught with their pants down, and it looks like players are setting up getting a cut and expecting to have a teammate there behind them to cut the other lane. So that's why those sort of awkward kills have happened. I think that's probably maybe the catalyst for this sort of heavy loss.
We got to watch Nimble because he has that active camo and needs to break it. Will he pop it once he gets support from the rest of the team? But Hopi uses the score streaks that he had racked up in that 7 streak and just resets Tainted Minds into the spawn. They're already past the 200-point mark. I almost don't believe that I'm seeing such a score difference of over 100 points between these two teams. And Prodigy Esports are doing phenomenal. Nimble pops the active camo, finds one player. Can he get the second? Reads him around the cut, does do so, and that is exactly what Tainted Minds do. They're in a now or never situation.
Yeah, that was honestly pretty impressive by Nimble there. Excellent reads. Not sure if he got a call out, but if not, he just read that player's positioning perfectly.
Nimble is doing fantastic on the sticks. He's the only one really that is making an impact, in my opinion, on Tainted Minds. Damage is still underperforming. You'd think after MLG Atlanta and that underperformance of the squad had that he would be coming out guns blazing, but this could be the final hard point by the looks of it. Active camo for Gydra, less than 25 points for Prodigy Esports. This could be it.
Yeah, Damage had the rotation there, but he actually lost that 1v1 gunfight to Gydra's K-Bar. Looks like he might have just gotten within range of the NV4.
Ooh. 1v3 for Gydra, not much that he could do. Zeus, FTL, he's basically got to use it on this hard point. They can't afford to give up any points, let alone scrap time. They can lose the game off scrap time alone. It will be one more push coming in from Prodigy Esports. If they don't get this one, you can imagine they're going to set up for the new hard point, as it looks like they're winning most of their engagements. Killer Pie doesn't get it though. Nimble does outgun him in the end there, but Prodigy, they're just going to set up for the new hard point, and they should be able to get those final 15 points, you can imagine.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with what Prodigy's doing. They've just managed to contest down to and basically push bridge and push bus. I don't know why you would do that. They can easily have rotated into the next hill and retain spawns for the rotation after that as well.
Gydra, active camo for him. We've already seen it used once by Nimble. Hopi is very close to his Centurion. This could be a payload situation that wins Prodigy Esports this map, but in the process of us saying how close Prodigy Esports are to actually winning this one, it does seem like the guys at Tainted Minds, they just broke the 200-point club.
Yeah, this is pretty close coming into the later end of the game. I sort of would expect that out of Tainted. They're the more experienced players, the more experienced teams under a lot more duress. But we do see camo coming out from Gydra. Picks up a nice kill. Probably would have liked to see him save it for the actual push into the hill, but he is managed to able to pick up a free kill right then and there.
Is this the comeback, potentially? Have Tainted Minds all of a sudden just found that momentum? They're racking up so much time, less than 10 points separating these two teams. They should be able to get the rest of this scrap time, and it is going to be the kill feeds coming in. It will be Prodigy Esports that win the majority of them. That is actually huge. Less than 10 points for them now to get to. Hopi nearly has that Centurion. One gunfight should get it for him. Bridge could be it. Each team can win this one. He's got to win the game fight, but going against Nimble is never a good thing. Den's now off the respawn, needs to get there super quick, but it will be Hopi. Centurion needs to get down in the middle of that hard point ASAP. Zeus is locking it down, wins one gunfight. Tainted Minds, it actually looks like they could do this.
Prodigy get one push here. If they screw this up, this might be over. Just,
is that it?
Tainted Minds have just gotten a 3-piece. This is 5 seconds left on the hard point. I don't think they have time to make it back in.
Oh,
this is a Tainted comeback.
God, they've done it! Tainted Minds! What did we just see? Nimble on your screens. That's a choke. Damn. You saw Zeus, hands on his throat. I honestly can't believe what we just saw. Prodigy Esports had such a large lead. I was already like, yeah, map 1's under the belt. They're going to do this. All of a sudden, Tainted Minds just didn't lose those gunfights. They started working as a team. They started entering the hard points, and instead of getting broken, they started holding it. That was the difference in the final second rotation. Crazy stuff here on the main stage in game 1.
Guys, don't worry about it. Everyone relax. We've got First Aid on scene performing the Heimlich maneuver on Prodigy right now. They were choking, but they're still alive, guys, and they're going to be coming back in a big way, I am sure. Hopi just doesn't know what happened. Look at the face. He just is so confused and completely blown away from what actually happened.
I know what happened. They choked.
Yeah.
That is, not to be rude or anything, but that's one of the bigger chokes that we've seen here at the CWL studio in a very long time. Prodigy Esports were so close to walking away with the 1-0 lead in such an important series.
I know, just reflecting back on sort of the last probably minute and a half, I think the key errors that Prodigy made was they had a lead, they could easily just throw away the scrap points on old hills, but they chased them. I just don't grasp that. They chased them into awkward ground and just came up against head glitches and lost.
We saw Gydra had that active camo. He popped it, got 1 kill, but he had no support from the rest of his team to trade out if he did get taken out by the second player. It seems like towards the end there, Tainted Minds actually used their payloads more effectively. Of course, payloads in this game are more crucial than anything compared to like Black Ops 3 at least. Tainted Minds just, in my opinion, made the best of the situation towards the end there.
Yeah, honestly, I actually thought it would have come down to Zeus having to use his FTL jump just to get more quickly to the next hard point, just to rotate, in all honesty. But, I mean, Prodigy, again, they just threw it straight in the bin.
What was your moment where it was like, oh no, this is going to happen, Tainted Minds are going to win this?
I think there was a pretty key battle at the back for the broken hardpoint. The damage actually lost. Then after that, Tainted basically just regrouped and pushed that hill pretty nicely and held it off and just sort of forced Prodigy to, well, it didn't really force them. It was their own unforced error, really.
Yeah, I mean, that was some great feedback there, guys. I mean, awesome stuff from both teams. I'm still in shock, to be honest, what actually happened there at the end. Tainted Minds has some great rotations. We'll get into a little bit more in-depth analysis in a second as we're just seeing the replay there of what happened.